Hey, girl.
Hey, boo.
Oh, every week this girl cracks me up. Okay. Hi, friends.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to Girl Please.
Yay.
It is episode 13, honey. Can y'all believe it? Where has the time
I
gone?
mean, it's really just flying on by.
Listen, when you're having a good time kicking with your homegirl, talking about all
Mhm.
things black and fashion. I mean, come on.
Well, sign me up for that every time.
Yes. Well, friends, y'all already know who it is. It's me, Daisha, your resident brand strategist, crafting experiences and cultivating culture.
Yes, she is. And I'm Tiara, your resident personal stylist, helping you embody your visions to live your best life.
Now, friends, we have a lot to get into this week, honey. I really hope y'all enjoy it because, I mean, it's a lot going on. It was Fashion Week, a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of tea dropped in the fashion world. Y'all know we live for
Mm-hmm.
fashion drama, honey. So
Love some
let's
fashion drama.
get into it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I was watching, just doing my scrolls on Instagram, and I
Mm-hmm.
came across this roundtable discussion with Sergio Hudson,
Yeah.
Asia Ware from The Cut, Law Roach,
Yeah.
Ade Samuel, all these really great folks in fashion
Right.
from different sectors.
The Black
Um,
Who's Who.
yes, honey, in the fashion industry.
Period.
Um, so they were having a conversation with Spring Hill,
Okay.
the agency,
Yes.
and basically Sergio Hudson was talking about his experience as a designer within the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and basically how he has seen a lot of disconnect between stylists and himself, and how they
Yeah.
treat him opposed to his white counterparts and things. And
Okay.
so it was a very interesting conversation because he was saying, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you know this already, but if you don't, it's a little tea for you. He said
Okay.
he was the most streamed show last year at Fashion Week. But
Let's see.
you wouldn't have known that because it wasn't broadcasted, one. And two,
Okay.
he was talking about how last year he was fighting for a time slot,
Yeah.
um, and he almost had it, but then a white brand came in and they were just able to take it. And
It
so
just took his time slot.
just took it, and he had to be okay with it because it was, he didn't name the brand, of course, but
Oh, of
because
course. But
it
this
was
was, I mean, it's a
exactly.
calendar, so this had to be approved. So they approved
Mhm.
the takeover of the
Exactly.
slot.
Exactly. So that's what he was
Okay.
saying. And he was just like, it's hard, like what we've been talking about, friends, right?
Yeah.
Like how hard it is and the barriers for black designers and just black
Yeah.
people in the fashion and creative industries at large. Um,
Yeah.
so it was a very interesting conversation, but something that stuck out to me was just, how did he put it? He was basically saying, like, as black people,
Uh-huh.
we, when we're working, sometimes we're really comfortable with each other, and but
Right.
he was like, we're not cousins. This is still,
Okay.
we're still working, right? So he said that in the
Yeah.
sense of that sometimes the questions he's asked as a black designer, like you would never ask that to his white counterparts. And so he's just saying
Yeah.
that us as black people should not assume that we get discounts or we get things for free, or the treatment
Hmm.
is different because where it's like, hey cousin, like let me get a little,
Okay.
so, he was
So he's
just,
saying people are asking him for discounts on the brand?
yeah, he was basically saying, like, people ask him outrageous things that he
Yeah.
knows you wouldn't ask,
Mhm.
whoever at Tom Ford,
Okay. So
or
he's feeling like
whoever.
he's not being taken
Serious.
serious
Exactly.
as a equal
Mhm.
footed
Exactly.
competitor in
And
space.
he's like, I'm dressing celebrities. I'm
Yeah.
doing all the things as well. Put
Yeah.
some respect on my name, okay?
So
And
he's getting it from both ends because he said he got overtaken by this
right.
brand from the majority for his time slot. But then on
Mhm.
the other hand, his skin folk ain't being so kinfolk.
Ain't kinfolk, okay? Right.
Or maybe a
So,
little too kinfolk for company.
honey, listen, and we can get a little comfy with each other sometimes
Yeah.
in these
But I
working.
think that we've kind of been having a conversation like this ongoing, the
Right.
difference between supporting and like giving charity. I mean, that's tough. Like,
And that's basically what he said, right? Like he was like, it's so tough being a black designer because, to your point, he's getting it from both ends. He's not good enough to keep his time slot or whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, he has Black folks asking him for discounts or can you do this or
Yeah.
can you do that? And
Yeah.
it's like, well, where's the middle ground here? You
Yeah.
know? So it was just an interesting conversation, y'all.
What did
So
some of the other people have to say about that when he went into that?
yeah, I really want to watch. They've been putting out clips of it,
Okay.
and I really want to take in the entire episode because I've been watching the clips, but it just seemed
Okay.
as though, folks of course are shaking their head in agreement and
Yeah.
they seem to understand, but
I was like,
I'd
what was
love
this
to hear
roundtable? Like, what was the purpose? Like, was this just like another conversation
Black and
of Black folks,
fashion.
or
Yep, Black and
was
fashion
it was
folks.
Black in fashion? Okay.
Yeah, so it had an array of people from, like I said, like stylists,
Yeah.
designers, editors, etc., to talk about being Black in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
was he just like the only person highlighted, or did other people
I
kind
believe everybody probably spoke, but what they've
of?
put out so far is him, and then they had a clip with La Roche, who actually talked
Hmm.
about his journey, within fashion and
Yeah.
how he used to try to minimize who he was because he didn't think it was good enough for white people. And so
Aw.
it was a similar conversation, of course, in a
Yeah.
different regard because he's a stylist. Um,
Right.
but it was that same sentiment, in a sense. So
Yeah.
it's very good from what I've seen so far. I definitely, like I said, want to watch the episode in its entirety and to hear everyone's stories of whatever they're talking about
Yeah.
at the table. But it's just an interesting concept. And I just wanted to talk about it briefly because we champion Black businesses and
Yeah.
working with each other. To Sergio's point, it's like, listen, put some respect on my name. We want to support each other, but we don't want to downplay each other either. Yeah, so that was just the point of that conversation. We are all about championing Black people, standing up for one another, but we have to do our due diligence too and support in the proper ways, not always look for a handout or a discount or
Right.
all the things. Like, we are cousins now.
Yeah.
I I do
I
think
believe
we are,
in the cousins, but like also too, when it's time, like there's a time and place for
but
everything.
it's a time
Like
and a
even if
place.
your mom has a business, you're gonna treat it professionally because
Exactly.
that's what
Mhm.
is called for in this moment.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, and
So,
that's also the only way we'll get ahead too. If we take ourselves seriously, we'll be able to build our own infrastructure to where we won't have to rely so heavily on these spaces that don't really prioritize or champion us anyway.
but it really goes back to a point of, and I just thought about it back in 2020 when everyone was, trying to support Black businesses
Yeah.
and was looking for alternatives. And I remember some of the
Yeah.
rhetoric being like, oh, this is so expensive or this is that. And it's
Yeah.
like, friends, we have
Yeah.
to reprogram ourselves a little bit.
Program ourselves. I would say we also need to just understand what should be highly priced or not. You know what I mean? Like we
Exactly.
need to, just like we understand the value of mainstream brands, and honestly sometimes you don't even understand the value of that either. Like you're just paying for a name because somebody told you that's how much that name costs. So to
Mhm.
your point about, reimagining how we think about ourselves in those spaces, it can't just to be all the time catching up with white folks.
Yeah,
Like
and also just
elevate ourselves.
if you pay for it with white people, why not pay for it with your own? It's
Yeah.
to our dollar,
Yeah.
the economy in general, but it's just like, why not? I don't mind spending a little extra to support my people, because I've supported
Or
them forever.
yeah, but you don't necessarily have to, because I mean, speaking of this economy, we don't necessarily need to be paying more for something. We just need to understand value
Right.
and respect that Black people can also put in oftentimes even more work into creating and crafting value that is appropriately priced. Like something doesn't have to have some French last name on it for you
Right.
to accept value from it. But the only way we'll be able to, because just like you said about 2020, we wanted so much to see so many, luxury Black labels. Well, this is what happens. They start somewhere and then you support them to that position. So
Yeah.
that's what happens. These are brands that have just as much training, if not more, than all your faves. And
That.
they're coming and bringing those technicalities to you with their black face on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But that's across all things. So when I'm referencing,
Yeah.
pay a little more, like I can remember telling my family about, Black brands to substitute Clorox and to
Yeah.
substitute like your daily cleaning products. And they are
Yeah.
priced a bit higher, but we have to again remember
Well, we
production.
understand that too. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
you have to, it's a lot of factors that go into pricing.
Yeah.
And yeah, but
But
like I
that's
said,
understanding the value. Like
I don't
their
mind because I understand
supply chain,
value.
yeah,
Right.
is costing a little bit more than it would a big box brand who has
Exactly.
all of these
Like
vendors.
a Lysol and all
Yeah,
and
like
all these.
shipping, delivery costs more for this brand. So yeah, that goes into, but if you're going to be higher price, you need to also be providing the reason for that. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean that's a really good conversation to kind of tie into, what we've been saying. We'll be on the lookout for the entire episode, but it is unfortunate that, and I mean we talk about that over here at Girl Please all the time, how we hold ourselves accountable and we be falling short a lot of the time for ourselves. Like we don't support ourselves. Like we just don't. Like we want to go and get validation outside and just be the token. Well, what a lowly life you've accepted.
Right. Mm. Yeah. So we'll keep watching and we'll let you guys know, but also check it out for yourself and let us know your thoughts. Get into the comments and tell us how you feel and what you think and,
Yeah.
how you're supporting
Let us
Black.
know if you were at the conversation and we missed a great point that you made. We'd love to discuss it over here as well.
Okay. Yes. Well, let's get into it, friend. Why is fashion so flat right
Yeah. So this week, I've also been doing a little reading and scrolling,
now? Okay.
and I came across an interesting article called Why is Fashion So Flat Right Now? Right.
Hmm.
And it was essentially, they're just kind of talking about, things we also talk about ad nauseum over here, the
Right.
branding of it all, the social media of it all, just the
The lack of beauty
dryness
of it all.
of it all. Yeah, everything is
Right.
tired, so boring and blah.
Exactly.
And they kind of tried to come up with some reasons as to what that is. So one of the main points that they made was fashion has become entertainment, which is true. We've seen, I mean,
We've
Vogue World Paris,
too.
right? Like we've been talking about this for a while. Like all of the influencers who are now the fashion to influencer pipeline into Hollywood and music and whatever other
Yeah.
area of entertainment, right? But it begs the question, and I wanted to talk to you about this. Like, is entertainment the opposite of creative and authentic? Like, what do you think about that?
Oh wow, that's a way to put a girl on the spot.
Yeah.
Uh, but hmm,
I mean, because when you think about it, like when you say entertainment or the entertainment industry, we're talking about the mainstream. Like,
right,
of course, we know our underground entertainment spots. We know our lesser known, our emerging independent space, right? But when you say entertainment, that's encompassing of the industry and that's the mainstream. And we
right.
know what happens in the mainstream.
Hmm.
Dreams go to die.
I mean, yeah. Listen, I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I'm in the middle because to your point when you said entertainment, I of like, you know, the the things you don't see, right? Like
Hmm.
I feel like with entertainment overall,
Yeah.
yes, it's a business at the end of the day.
It's
And what does business care about? Money.
funny.
So that's, it's pushing money. So if we think of it in that way, then yes, it's the opposite of creative and authentic. But I do think that there's a space within entertainment that celebrates, authenticity, creativity, but
Hmm.
it's underground entertainment, right? Because again, like you
Yeah.
said, or like we just said, entertainment is for the mainstream and
Yeah.
that's a money play. But underground, it's more so this is who I am. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm living within my authentic purpose and,
Yeah.
creatively driven. So I think it's twofold. It just depends on what side of entertainment I guess you're on, but specifically for this, I get what they're saying.
No,
Like,
but I'll push back a little bit harder on that because I understand what area you're coming from on, the mindset of that. But, entertainment means mainstream.
right,
So when we're talking about the underground, that is the opposite of making money at this scale.
right.
So can creativity and authenticity exist in the mainstream?
I mean, we've seen it a little. I mean, I guess it
What would be an example of that?
I mean, if you want to talk about maybe Beyonce,
I'm gonna say that.
but she's how do you even you can't because she's at a different and even like Rihanna, like they're at different points. You get what I'm saying? Like
No,
they're
I don't even think we can say that they're at different points. I think they just have a lot of money behind them. And because they
okay.
want to be people that are known for creativity, they have the access to
That's
siphon that off of a lot of people. But they just fail.
right.
So really I mean, we wouldn't call them just the creative authenticity. We would say they have the budget to support a lot of different
Right.
creatives, but then that begs the piece about authenticity. I mean, those creatives are giving away their creative to someone else to live off of it in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's very deep. That was
Yes.
an interesting, kind of situation that came out of this article. But
But back to the fashion of it being entertainment has
mhm,
become entertainment.
yeah.
I do believe in the sense of gimmicky. Yes. That it's become
But that's the entertainment piece, right?
exactly. So if we think of it in that way, yes, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
everything to me is like a joke. Like we
Yeah.
we literally just saw last year the Balenciaga and Erewhon collaboration where they,
Oh
did the
God.
show in LA and
Yeah.
all the things like and then we see all these like random stuffed animals going down
Ooh.
runways and it's like
Ooh.
I,
Yeah.
hmm,
So I think that kind of supports our argument there. Like,
yeah.
the mass production of it all, just kind of furthering the conversation. I also think cancels out luxury. So now we've taken out creativity, which really was the piece that bred luxury, right? Because it was authentic to a select few, or the people who had access to it could, go home and reinterpret in their own ways because they had the ability to do that. But now
Right.
everything is like Walmart and Amazon. I mean,
H&M
honestly,
at best.
say that again.
H&M fashions at best.
Oh, girl. And
And I
exactly.
have a lot to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and exactly. And then one of the other points that they touched on, big intellect and depth has
Mm,
also gone out the window, which is how we're here.
we
Everything
literally
looks
just
the
talked about
same.
this. Yes.
Have one of the women in the
Yes.
article, one of the women in the article was just saying how she doesn't even really remember the last time she wanted something. Wanting something is rare. And it's true. Like, when was the last time you really wanted something? It's because everything is at your fingertips everywhere all the time,
Too accessible.
too accessible. Like,
Hmm.
the fact that they done got want up out of here is crazy. The
Yeah.
only thing that people want is to be the exact same as everybody else, which is so
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah. It's insane.
So then they got into the conversation that we've been having over here about personal style and how that doesn't really exist anymore. And then they
Right.
kind of got into this meta conversation about how, well, people don't even really have time to even be creative
Mhm.
because, they just have so many things to do. And that goes for the designers and everything at the brands too. That it's
Mhm.
just easier to go and get a fashion starter pack off of TikTok with all the pieces in it. And here's my money.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you don't even have the time to think about the fact that you look like everybody else. I want to push back on that a little bit because I do think that there is a yearning to look like everybody. But I think Marjan in the article hit on a point about community. People are tied to, like, all of our values and identities are tied to our consumerism. So
Mm-hmm.
people express themselves based on what tribe they exist in through their clothes now.
Yeah.
So you're the Prada girl, or you're the Miu Miu girl, or the H&M girl, or whatever. You know what I mean? And then that's how we get all of these aesthetic mood board conversations and trends. Like, individualism has silently gotten up out of here.
It's strange.
Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's so funny because I went to some concerts over the summer and I remember
Yeah.
saying like, "Oh my God, everybody looks the same. Everyone has
Yep.
on cowboy boots and
Yep.
cowboy hats and
Yep.
puff skirts." And it was just
But it's
like,
the thing, like, they sell it to you like that, right? Like,
really
no shade to all of the biggest concerts of the summer, but you literally could go on Amazon or many
TikTok.
retailers, TikTok shop, right? And
Yeah.
go and get like the Renaissance look. Like, it's a whole pack, or whatever the eras look. Cause
Hmm.
Taylor Swift had a look. She had a look. I also got a text message from change.org that she's I won't get into that. I don't understand. I don't understand. I just don't understand where we are. How am I getting that text? I ain't
Yeah,
never looked for this woman in my life.
ever.
I mean, maybe when Bad Blood came out, because I just wanted to know the tea. So that's where we are now. The obsession with celebrity, which kind of ties into the article that Tahira Hairston wrote for Cultured
Hmm.
about the fate of Fashion Week.
Hmm.
America's obsession with celebrity, consumerism, and the greed mill has washed creativity and authenticity up out of here because that makes more money, right?
Hmm.
But what happens is we always talk about, well, what if, why can't anybody be cool? People are cool. They don't have no access to the money to
Literally.
compete. So we
Right.
see all of these really cool brands folding. Like we saw this week, Dion Lee is shuttering. Dion Lee is a really dope brand.
Love Dion Lee. Love Dion Lee. It's sad. It's sad to watch. It's sad
Yeah.
to watch.
And then we've heard, we talk about our fave Willie over here all the time, Chavaria, and just his struggle with funding. We talked about Theophilio last week. And,
Yep.
New York does not support creativity. When I say New York, really, I mean America, but this is the fashion capital. And we talk about fashion over here.
Right.
Doesn't support that. Like, you go to any of the other major cities and even some of the offshoot cities like Seoul, Korea, and Copenhagen, like, governmentally, they have support for their creative industries. They have access to funding to support and incubate their brands for real.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me think, okay, either the CFDA is powerless or inefficient.
Honey.
Because you're supposed to be a governing body over the fashion industry,
Oh, it's
just like
something.
they have in Britain, just like they have in Milan, just like they have in Paris.
Right.
I saw this week in the news. I mean, we can move on, but like, apparently, like, the models
Yes,
have that
that's what.
initiative. Yeah,
Hmm.
like how the governor just hasn't even signed the legislation into law yet.
Like, what is happening? Why are you dragging your
Why
feet?
is that taking? Allegedly, she had a spokesperson come out saying that she has all intents of signing it into law. She just is going to do it later in the year. And
Oh,
I get, your days are big, but girl, this done already passed.
but honey, how long does it take to sign it?
0.3 seconds. But I don't know what the rigmarole. But see, that's the thing. All the red tape over here, and every country has their issues. But it's just
Right.
like, we do not. It's almost like this country doesn't even want to prioritize. Like, we're really molding our country into this cesspit of
Not a suspect.
robot people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept, and Yeah, I think we talk about it a lot on here. And so now everyone is seeing it also,
Yeah.
and they're talking about it. And I think people are starting to wake up like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
what is actually happening?
Yeah.
Oof.
So, New York Fashion Week just passed, and we'll get into the things on that. But it's sad. It's sad, and you have all of these counter articles going around about how it's not dead yet. But baby, in its current iteration,
But it's so crazy because they're
it
saying it's
is.
not dead, but almost every fashion person that I know in varied
Yeah.
areas, right? Like I
Yeah.
have friends that work in logistics and
Yeah.
supply chain, and then business side and
Yeah.
styling, and everyone has the same sentiment. Like I don't necessarily look forward.
I mean,
They're
we've kind of had
forward
our,
to.
I'm not
Like,
mad that I didn't go anywhere this
yeah.
season.
I
You know what I
saw
mean?
so many articles about that and just different influencers that I follow that
Yeah.
said, I just needed a break, but I also am not mad at myself for taking a break and not
Yeah.
going. I don't feel any kind of FOMO. I don't, it's like
Because there is no FOMO. You didn't miss out on anything.
it,
Anything that you did this season was the same thing you did last season with the same people, with the same looks. Like
oh, you
everything
started
is
on
the
the same
same. It's
people,
literally the
please.
same. And we're not going to say there's not a whole bunch of sameness in London or Milan or Paris, but there's something to look forward to because at least there will be some creativity or innovation over there because
Right,
they support that,
right.
especially
Absolutely.
London.
Yeah, I'm excited for London Fashion Week for
I'm
sure.
always I've London is always and forever will be my fave.
And
Yes,
we
Paris
teased
is
it a
very
little bit on
dear.
our socials, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned.
Yes, come
We will
on
be
over to It's Giving Girl, please.
all the tea from London Babes. But yes, I'm excited
Oh
for
yeah,
that. And to your point, like they have clearly stated and called out, we will be highlighting emerging
yeah,
designers. We
yeah,
will be doing this and X, Y, and Z. And they
yeah,
have a lot of cool activations that's happening and popping up
yeah.
too. And I
As
think
they always do.
yes, exactly. But I think that I was telling you before we even had this
Mm,
episode, I was more excited for the activations that I saw just randomly popping up during New
yeah,
York Fashion Week than the
yeah,
actual calendar. And it shouldn't be that way. Like it could be a
yeah.
good mix of both. But me being more excited about the experiences is just like, come on, babes. You know
Well, I mean, that kind of speaks to some of the things that these women were speaking about in these
exactly.
articles. Like New York is almost like a springboard to get up out of here. Like
Mm-hmm.
you just do this circuit and then you elevate to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like all the big brands either leave America or just show off the calendar altogether, which again, there is no community camaraderie. Like the big
Right.
brands just show off calendar. And at first we were like, oh, okay, they're reclaiming their time. Like the fashion week will, there's too many shows, the calendar's packed. But like that's like doing a disservice to the emerging and independent brands.
Right.
And we're already all over the place over here. Like you could show in LA, you could show, whatever. But
Anyway.
then like there's an IMG calendar versus a CFDA
Mhm.
calendar. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. It's
where
a lot
even
going on.
is fashion week in New York?
And it goes back to the point of it's too much
Yeah,
happening.
it's too much
Like
going on.
that, it goes, you just literally proved the
Way
whole
too
point.
bloated.
It's a CFDA calendar, a IMG calendar. What's the other style? I can't remember, but they have a calendar.
Ooh,
And girl, please.
yeah, it's
Like
girl.
we
Yeah,
didn't even get to the girl, please, and I'm already
but
saying,
it's already girl. Yeah,
like,
yeah,
girl,
girl.
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we could do that all day. We're getting up in arms. But just lastly, this kind of speaks to what we preach over here, Essence Gant. And for
Yes.
those of you that don't know, she's an amazing, incredible former beauty director who's now freelancing, doing her own thing. She's her own content creator and just
Yes.
a boss in
Reclaim
her
her
own right, period,
Yes.
reclaiming her time. But she went on a podcast called God's Favorite Creative. And she just kind of talked about her experience working in the industry and the racism and prejudice and bias that she experienced. And she just decided, baby, I'm going to do my own thing.
Done with it.
And that's just what we need to do.
Right.
Like, we can talk about leading the charge as diverse individuals in the emerging and independent space. But one of two things happens. Like Sergio talked about, on the one hand, with your kinfolk who ain't kinfolk, you know,
Right.
you run into the people trying to save their token space, or even in this area, the funding and the money still comes from white people, and
Mhm.
they are in positions to accelerate our careers or not. And we have got to take the reins back. There's no reason why we can't be supporting ourselves. And I'm not, saying be separatist. I'm saying be familial.
Right.
Like we don't need validation
At
from
all.
nobody but ourselves. We literally have access and resources at our fingertips right now to live the destinies that we dream, if we just take
And
the time.
Pete Sister. Okay. Yes, so
Yeah.
that was a really good podcast episode. You
Oh
guys
yeah.
definitely check it out. Essence is definitely
We
inspiration.
stand Essence. This is an
Yeah,
Essence stand account for sure.
absolutely. And love what she's doing and what she's done. And I'm
Mhm.
excited to see, how she continues
Yeah.
to really
She has
carve
a
her
YouTube channel too. You guys should check out. She does a lot of hair tutorials, and she
own. Mhm.
vlogs. Like, she's great.
Yes, girl. So side note, honey.
We got some side notes.
Yes. So Sarah Burton was named creative director of Givenchy
Ooh,
during New York
on
Fashion.
on on.
We love
Okay.
that. Oh my God.
Alexander McQueen lives on.
Okay, absolutely. And then we saw Miss Anak. Now, first of all, this blew my hair
Oh,
back.
okay,
Okay,
yeah.
yes, honey.
And Jawara blew that hair back.
Oh, and did and
Okay,
late.
period.
Okay,
What is it? Fried
by
dilated.
the late to the side.
Okay.
Okay. And that was on the cover of Myth magazine issue #1. It's a
New
digital.
magazine alert.
Yes, it's a digital magazine, and
Uh-huh.
honey, y'all, if y'all didn't see it, please go see it. Okay.
Yeah. And
Because-
shout out to the photographer, Gabriel
oh
Moses,
yes, yes, Black photography.
who, I don't know how I'm just now getting hip, but I'm tuned.
Okay, we're tuned
Yeah.
in.
We're
Come on,
tuned in.
Gabriel. And also, big shout out to Jason Bowden. He was just
Oh
named
yeah.
style editor at large at Cultured
Mm-hmm.
Mag. Love
Yes.
that for him. Kudos to
Yes.
him. Give him
Very
all
cute for
the
him.
flowers.
Yeah.
And something
He's an
else.
industry vet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Salute him.
it's his time. Like I really want to see him
Yeah.
in roles and positions like this. Like
Yeah. And I want to see more of our Black stylists
exactly.
in roles and positions like this. Like, we can
Exactly.
get on the magazine side of things too. Everything doesn't have to
Absolutely.
be, celebrity. A lot of people actually come from the editorial world and then go into celebrity.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's
salute him.
typically the pipeline.
That is the
Um,
pipeline.
but right. So I love that for him. So shout out to Jason, all the
Yep.
flowers. And then we saw Glenn Martin step down from Y Projects Tears. So
Okay. Yeah. But he's still at Diesel.
yeah, I saw that. I was
Okay.
concerned and confused. But
I mean,
and
allegedly he's going to Margiela.
yes, he's going to Margiela. So I guess we'll see what will happen there. All I know is, girl, please give us stuff that we like.
Yeah, we don't know. We ain't told y'all nothing. We don't know.
We don't know, honey. But what I do know is that Usher was in the Cuts print issue, very naked.
He got a little naked poster in the cut.
He was showing a little skin,
Mm.
honey. Listen, Usher, he don't act
Zaddy.
to me.
It's
Like
zaddy.
it's giving oof,
It's
honey.
almost like scarily so, because it's
I told you,
like
he's been with us
you
our entire lives. Like
aren't aging, but also I know I owed you.
right.
And I don't think it's okay for me to see and view you in the way that I do.
But I
But I
like
feel like I may always have
listen, I have been
a
Usher
lot
girl.
of mental gymnastics with
But
that one.
yes. And lastly, honey, this is the biggest side note. Okay.
No, she's the biggest.
She's the biggest, okay?
Mm.
Risa Tisa from the very famous TikTok series Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
Ooh,
is getting a show, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna be the F tuned in, okay?
I
Because
cannot wait.
what? Like I cannot wait. And Natasha Rothwell from Insecure
Yes.
will be playing Risa
Okay.
in the show.
Okay. She also
And
doing some writing. Like,
she's also producing it as well. But
okay.
baby, this is gonna be great because listen, I was
Listen,
tuned in. I was tuned in
y'all
like
get
it
into
was a
my
whole series.
thing. Y'all did the TikTok thing. I waited till somebody stitched all the TikToks into some YouTube videos.
And
And
it was
listen,
shoot.
it took me days to finish.
It was 50 something parts.
Okay, but I was glued.
Okay.
Because I just was
Had,
glued.
had my drink and popcorn ready to tune in.
You know, it's always some dusty Negro putting a woman in a position like that.
A mess. But listen, now look at her. That's a whole
Flourishing.
because honey,
She's
yes,
flourishing.
all the things that man promised her, she now has or can have. So
Yeah.
boop, she won.
Yeah. I also like how, you know, introspective and accountable she was, which allowed me to hone in on Legion. It's a girl please on you.
Every day of the week.
Okay.
It's a girl please. Honey. But what is a girl yes of the week is Miss Shaniqua at Simplicity X Style on Instagram, honey.
So the girl yes of the week, as my good sis just said, is Shaniqua J. And I was just doing my little scrolls, okay, on the Instagrams, okay, and I saw, first of all, I saw those black and white Gucci zebra Mary Janes from 2017
Honey.
with that tail on the heel. On my feed, on this melanated woman sitting on a couch with bottles of champagne around her in this
the luxury of it all.
Sexy dress. Okay, I'm talking about form fitted with a little halter strap, bosomed. Okay, giving you Marilyn Monroe, but make it Diane Carroll with a little bit of Lil' Kim. Okay, she had a rose gold little Chanel. Okay, and she was just fabulous. I want to say that dress was from House of CB, but I don't know that to be the truth. But she was just looking fabulous, and we just had to highlight it today.
Definitely had to highlight it. That was definitely a girl yes, and
that 1950s bus line. Okay, I just can't stop thinking about it.
I love Shaniqua, honey. Been following her
I do too. Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
So yes, when I saw this, we knew it had to be the girl.
With
yes,
that square frame, chef's kiss.
Yes, we just loved it. We stand you. Flowers to you, and flowers to having good style.
Period. And shout out to Black Experiences at Fashion Week.
Okay, love that. And so it is our favorite time of the show, and I know it's y'all favorite time of the show, honey.
But do they know that?
If they don't, they need to. I say this every week.
Are y'all understanding what time it is?
I don't know, but girl, I'm finna tell them whether they do or they don't, honey. It's time for please. What we have all been waiting for.
Period.
So our first girl, please, because baby. Okay, so again, it's been New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
Alaia showed their spring summer 2025 collection, and babes, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. It was H&M fashions at best.
And Alaia, I know you lying. Okay, because
who me?
Did you just play in my face? You came to New York to play in my face?
I can't believe
with these tube tops and these maxi skirts that and also I'm in fashion industry professionals. I understand our obligations, but we need to start telling the truth. You don't want every piece. You know why?
You're not gagged.
Already have them in your closet from high school. Everybody has those tube tops. And then everybody has those skirts.
In the comments saying he's at a loss for words. Babes, I'm at a loss for words for the lack of beauty.
I'm at a loss for words because I thought I clicked on Alaia. I'm confused. It's a girl, please.
That's a big girl. Please. Okay?
No, but like
the disappointment. Oh God.
But why are y'all lying? It's a girl, please on y'all too.
Yeah, because why was it so many people in the comments like, oh, I love this. I stand. What do you love and stand? It's at H&M. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
It's at Shein. It's on Amazon. Please. Okay, like I don't know. But see, this is what we're talking about with the blending of it all. You know, came over here to New York and you think you just got to get into the wheel and mill of nothingness.
And it was truly that.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Yes. Okay, so whatever. If y'all didn't see it, okay, please go watch because I just need y'all to take in what we took in.
I almost don't even want y'all to
And
see it, but just
no, for your own experience, okay? Don't just take our word for it. Okay. I need y'all to go see it because
and
if
get in the comments and let me know. Do you
us,
feel like we're crazy?
right, because was it us?
It can't be us.
Mm.
One thing you know about girl, please, we gonna keep it real.
Yeah, because okay.
I'm confused.
Next on the girl, please list, babes.
Mm,
So, Morehouse alum James Jeter was recently
yeah.
named the first Black creative director at Ralph Lauren. So,
Okay.
kudos to him.
Okay.
But if we take it back a bit,
Yeah. Give the girls
he
a little background.
actually worked on, I believe it might have been 2021 when Ralph Lauren launched that HBCU collection.
Yes.
So
Correct.
he was lead designer on that collection, which ultimately propelled him to now be.
But tell them how he even got to that.
Oh, he was an intern. Yes.
And wanted the company that he worked for to speak out in the wake of all of the racial unrest that was occurring in our country at that time, at that heightened level.
Yeah.
And it was vocal and then got the opportunity to, I guess,
To
the
do the
solution.
HBCU
Yeah.
collection.
Okay.
So first of all, that in itself was a girl, please.
It's
Okay.
a girl please on
We,
that, baby.
we didn't have this series in that show then. But if we did,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would have been saying, girl, because
Yeah.
I don't even want to see first of
Yeah.
all,
I don't even like how that sounds. The first Black creative director of Ralph Lauren.
you see I pause
You
because
know why I don't like? We love to hear our firsts.
right.
But Ralph Lauren, like, first of all, he's still there. Ralph Lauren is.
Very much so. Very much so involved.
What has ever been Black about Ralph Lauren besides the Black people that decided that polo was going to be an integral part of our culture?
Hmm.
But we were never in the campaign. Okay, with the exception of, supermodels.
Right.
Okay. But all right, we're saying this is a young man who saw, an opportunity to be vocal about his people and elevation, and this needs to change about this brand. But
Right.
I'm just at this point in life where why do we keep needing to change these brands that don't care about us?
Exactly. And it
You
just
should have took your talents to the James Jeter brand.
or yeah,
You would have bought that.
the James Jeter brand for sure. Yeah, I would have loved it.
And
And maybe
so,
it will, down the
yeah,
line, but
so we're not downing you. We're just wanting better for us, you included.
literally want better for you. And kudos to you being a Morehouse alum
Yes.
and, HBCU alum. So we already know greatness is within you.
All up and
So
through.
we definitely want to see what you bring to Ralph Lauren, but also what you do for yourself because honey,
And I hope they cut you your check.
oh,
Because that's really just the part. At this point, I hope you got that good coin.
okay. Because if not, see ya.
Because an HBCU collection at Ralph Lauren
Doesn't
wouldn't
even
even
make
make
sense.
sense.
Doesn't even. I'm a HBCU alum.
And I'm just
I don't
black.
understand it.
I just
I
don't get it.
don't even want to stay. I don't
It's
want
not.
to
Girl,
do
please. It's girl, please.
time.
We
It's
love you. We love you, bro. We love you, King.
yes,
But this has got to be a girl, please.
got to be a girl, please. You're not the girl, please, but that's a girl,
Just
please.
that.
Yes, that is a girl, please. But listen, so Off White returned to New York Fashion Week. We talked about this a few episodes ago. Baby, the verdict is in, and the girls
Episode
have said,
6. Y'all
please.
go back to episode 6.
Six, yes. But the girls have said, please, please.
Yeah.
They have come over to the Girl Please universe as well and said,
Yeah.
what was that?
Eve,
What was
okay,
it?
so we did say that, our hot take, well, it wasn't even a hot take, but our opinion was Off-White does need to be in New York. And
Absolutely.
I still believe that.
Absolutely.
But not to do that. Like, first of all, just the story of it all didn't make sense to me.
I don't even know what.
New York is the center of the branding for Off-White from the black man from Chicago. I just have never understood Off-White. Maybe I'm not the demo. But
I,
what that was giving, honestly, is always what Off-White gives me.
Hmm.
So there's
well,
that.
Well, that was that, honey. So y'all tell us what y'all think, because like I said, everybody's been talking about the Off-White show and how they just are like, it was a no.
But
So
also for you, Eve, we want better. Because you are an
Sure.
astounding creative.
Yes.
We have followed your styling career for years.
Yeah. Give us more.
Yeah.
We'll be on the lookout for it. But honey, this is a true girl, please. So Kendrick Lamar was named the headliner of Super Bowl 2025 in New Orleans.
Yes.
And it's received a lot of backlash. I mean,
Yes.
of course, because the king himself, Lil Wayne, is from New Orleans, and everybody
New Orleans.
knew, him and the Hot Boys was going to take over the stage at Super Bowl. And baby, they said no. They said no. They said it will be Kendrick Lamar. Yes.
And you know what? Lil Wayne is actually, truly my favorite rapper.
Yes, we know.
If anybody's a Lil Wayne stan, it is me.
TT.
But I'm also a huge Kendrick Lamar fan, number one.
Absolutely.
But I think I have equal footing to say this. Kendrick Lamar is not only deserving of performing at the Super Bowl, and the only reason that I can get past, that is a huge slight to Lil Wayne, period. Especially the powers that be and the power that they be holding and what they say they do and what they really be doing. We know who does entertainment for the Super Bowl. We don't got to get into that. But Kendrick Lamar is literally the hottest thing on earth right now.
Absolutely.
Why would he not be performing at the Super Bowl? If y'all gave Atlanta Travis Scott with no Jermaine Dupri, New Orleans, y'all finna get this K-Dot show. That's just what's finna happen.
Right.
And girlplease, because just 2 months ago, y'all was They Not Like Us and Me down.
Yeah.
Now you mad?
Honestly, it's just they're mad about the whole Lil Wayne.
And I don't got no smoke for that, because
and I understand that part of it, but I think we also have to
for both.
Exactly. We have to think of when people are making these decisions, it's so many things that go into the decision, right? That the common person most likely does not think about. We have to think about ad spends and dollars and marketing. Everything comes down to money.
But the only thing that I can say about that is we're not going to act like Lil Wayne can't command this, because not only is he super active now, he is active across the gamut, and he's a legend. So
Absolutely.
it's not I can't imagine that.
But it's not a one size fits all situation. Like there's a lot of factors, that goes into play. So
you're right, but also too, it could have gone either way with that, because he's effing Lil Wayne. The issue is the powers that be made this decision for their own interests, and this is what we got. And Lil Wayne and Kendrick is caught up in the crossfires, and y'all just finna get you a good show from K-Dot.
Yeah, and who's to say he doesn't bring them out?
Well, that's what I kept saying in the text messages. Like, we know homeboy has his ear to the ground, and he salutes all the legends. Like, he literally is hip hop. Right. Like, I would be very surprised if somehow he didn't, unless he's like literally banned from doing it, which
I don't see.
I would be very surprised if somehow, I would be surprised.
Right. So y'all in an uproar and having a fit, but he might bring him out. He might actually give him a little set within his set. We don't know.
Bring him out.
Whatever, child. That's a girl please to me, because, honey,
it's a girl please.
Music, and I'm ready for the show, and I'm trying to go. So if y'all see
New Orleans,
if y'all see me in the crowd, honey,
they not like us.
Okay,
they not like us. Girl, if you see me at the local pub down the street,
Listen,
that's just what it's fit to be.
in tow. Don't play with me. I
Yeah.
don't care. I will be there. Like what? But
Yeah,
honey,
so it's a girl please on y'all. We need to be able to have multitasking minds.
absolutely
Yes, we can be outraged because we can all agree that's a huge slight to a king.
right. But
But
we can also
Kendrick is a king
celebrate
too.
another king.
But
Yes,
we can be angry and celebrate at the same time.
exactly. Yeah, I don't understand. But whatever, girl, please see y'all. I'm going to enjoy the show. TT's going to enjoy the show. What
Yeah.
I did not enjoy is Miss Tiffany Haddish crashing the Monse show again at New York Fashion Week. And
Okay.
girl, please.
She's a clown. Miss Mama's,
I
you're a
didn't
clown.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I'ma say it for all of us. She's a clown. And it's ridiculous. Monse ain't gonna get all that Shein money
Oh,
for you to have their show. They didn't. Talking about Kathy Hilton egged her on for it.
and why?
First of all, why was she even invited?
Furthermore,
It's a girl please on that guest list.
first, let's start there.
What?
Like, but this all goes back to, like you said, America's obsession with influencer and celebrity. And this is someone who works in this, right? But I always think when crafting these lists for shows and just things, it needs to make sense. Why is she even at that show?
Well, this goes back to what we were talking about in our early segment about the ruination of Fashion Week and just its relevancy and its place now. The celebrity flood has really made us miss the plot. In what world is Tiffany Haddish
And then
front row
we had the same thought because what?
at your fashion show during Fashion Week?
Bro. Oh,
Because that one slight fashion moment she had on that red carpet, she had to tell that lady she bought that dress. So
every week my face just goes like this.
I just,
I can't.
you know, and shame on you, Tiffany. Why?
You should just wait in the back. Hey, they should have had the church ushers.
We already got to worry about the PETA people. Now it's you.
Don't start me. Okay, that's a
Okay.
girl, please, honey.
Yeah.
Don't
Just
start.
move on, please.
So Doechii was on the cover of Paper, and
Paper.
and I was very confused. I must admit, I didn't even
Oh,
realize it
yeah.
was her until you told me, and I was like, oh,
You know what I think it is with Miss Doechii? I wonder if her artistry exists in a time that is too late for her.
I can see that.
Because I think that she is incredibly talented. And I actually think that her being a part of TDE makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways, right? Because that's a very expensive minding label. Like obviously Kendrick comes from there and just a lot like Schoolboy Q. Like just a lot of really great artists who are artsy.
Right.
Rap soul.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So that's great, but also to like I didn't like understand. I did not like that cover.
I'm just gonna get it
but
out.
I also don't understand her, I feel.
Yeah,
well, maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe I'm not the demographic. I don't know. I think she's an incredible rapper. I do need y'all to stop saying I do need y'all to stop saying she's female Kendrick though.
Okay, let's
she's just
we go too far. Like what are we talking
That's okay.
Be her in her own
it's okay
right.
for her to be Doechii.
Yes, like we don't the comparisons just
and also that just doesn't even make any sense. But okay, so I just needed to get that off my chest. But
yeah, no, you've riled me up. Anyway, that was a girl please for me because what was it?
And I guess her alter ego. It's her alter ego. It's her alter ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
And listen, you know, the article was basically going into, or the the article write up, whatever. It was just kind of going into how she's not only, you know, this prolific rapper, she's also a thespian.
Okay. This reminded me of Cindy Sherman. Are you familiar with the artist Cindy Sherman?
This name sounds familiar.
you probably know her when you see her. She does her art is that, right? Like recreating herself into these different types of people and things.
Okay.
Um
Okay.
and it's interesting. And I feel like that was could have been. I don't know if
Like a
people
reference.
really have the references. But I feel like that could have been a reference because she did something similar, but y'all didn't pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, every artist, pop star, big whatever, has alter egos. Like, this is
Right.
not new. And listen, to be, fair, if you're gonna do any sort of play like that, it does make sense at paper, especially for a
Yeah, no,
40th
it made
anniversary.
total sense at paper. Like
Yeah,
where else would it have? No.
where but
Maybe
just I think the girl pleases.
please.
Doja, you might be. I don't know. This is your era. Like nothing. Like something like that is supposed to be shocking.
Mhm.
That's supposed to be subversive and like ooh And for me, it was like, girl, here
Well,
they go with this.
what fell flat, but this is what we talked about before. What fell flat is the lack of creativity in editorial and the way that you shoot things. Like I just was
Yeah,
not
yeah,
nothing about it was intriguing. Maybe if it was
nothing.
set up differently creatively, maybe I would have
Yeah,
been like, "Ooh, yes, babes, let's
give her a scene, a background,
yeah." Like I would have
or be more
literally
punchy with the color.
exactly. I was going to say that. Like had it been a real
White
set or a
body
scene, I would have
with a
maybe gotten into it. But baby, you
sumo wrestler belly on, or I guess it wasn't sumo because she had the pet. But ma'am, okay, look, you didn't. And then also too, last night. Now I'm getting just. I don't like it. Okay, I
don't
just
like it. It,
I
it,
just
it
don't like it.
woo. Okay, friends. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all check it out for yourselves because girl, please.
Yeah, girl, please.
Just girl, please. It's just a girl, please. It's
Yeah,
just
it is.
girl, please. Like there's
Just girl, please.
I
Yeah.
think girl,
It's
please.
just please. Like, it's just please.
Just
Also,
please.
that's just so played
I
too.
was just gonna say, like, why do we okay, I don't want to keep
We didn't already beat the gender drum down.
honey, let me tell you, I'm done with it. Everything on the list that
Yeah.
we stated, y'all can go check it out for yourselves. Tell us if it's a girl please to you or not.
Yeah, they just really done made us mad this week. And London is gonna bring new energy.
No energy.
Okay, London's
New
bringing new
life, new
energy. Yeah,
creativity. I'm so
yeah,
excited. Y'all make sure y'all follow us
yeah.
on social at It's Giving Girl Please. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube also at It's Giving Girl
And
Please.
put in the comments.
Get in the comments like what do y'all want to see? What do y'all want to talk about? We
Yeah.
will be talking about New York Fashion Week and giving a brief recap.
Yep.
And we're trying to get cutesy for y'all. Like we're trying to get cute with the programming and the
Yeah.
formats and all the things. Like we want to talk to y'all. So talk to us. Okay? Girl,
We
please
talk
on that.
nice and we talk
Talk
back.
back. Okay.
I also just want to say salute to all of our recent subscribers. We see
Yes, and our
y'all
followers.
liking it up, viewing it up. Also over there on our IG, our new followers.
Yes.
Okay, commenting and liking it up.
Okay.
Just elevate, because you know what? This is all about you. This is your show.
Your show. We can't do it without y'all. We want to hear what y'all got to say too,
Yeah,
okay?
we really just came here to kiki with y'all.
Okay, honestly, we have nothing else to do but to kiki with y'all. We do, but whatever. But yes, friends, it's been cute. This has been episode 13 of Girl Please. We'll
Yeah.
be back next week with all things fashion, culture, lifestyle, and a little bit
Yeah.
of London Fashion Week. So stay
Okay.
tuned. See you later.